gonna talk about my MEPS experience. It wasn't really a big deal, nothing like that. Um, I'm going in as an E2, a APAC. I'm in an APAC. That's my rate, and um, my A school is in Pensacola, Florida. So that's where I'm be stationed. That's where I'm gonna go after boot camp. So about the MEPS experience. Well, when I got to the MEPS hotel, my recruiter didn't actually take me to the MEPS hotel. It was the other recruiter that was in the office that took me to the MEPS hotel. Um, I got there by maybe like 6:37. Um, they asked me to sit down in the waiting area. It's like they got different type of games, laptops. They got Xbox. They got P4. They got pool. It's just like a waiting area. They asked me to sit down and read some stuff, like the policies and all that other stuff. Then like maybe 10 minutes later, they asked me to come sign in. I signed in. While I was there, I was actually talking to my roommate, and I didn't know that he was my roommate. He was swearing in that the next day, so we were just talking about. He was telling me that the first time is not that bad and stuff like that. But once I finally signed in, they gave me my room card, my meal ticket, and another paper with like the room number and stuff like that. How to get how to call and a Wi-Fi passcode. So after that, I just stayed in the lobby for a few seconds. Then I went up with my roommate. The room is not that bad. Well, the hotel that I was in, I can't remember the name, but the hotel that I was in is not that bad. It's about like two beds. It's not that big. It was okay. So around like 7:38, we went down to eat. The food was good. I had the fried tilapia with fries and mashed potatoes with an apple pie. They got chicken and they got burgers and stuff like that. But that's what I had. After the food, we had like a brief meeting. Something went upstairs. I slept around like maybe 12. Woke up at 4. Next morning, I didn't get a wake up call. That's the thing I didn't do. I didn't get a wake up call. It was after I came downstairs that I got the wake up call, but I didn't get it in the first place. After that, I went downstairs, ate breakfast. For breakfast, they had like grits, eggs, waffles, bacon, sausage, biscuits, and apple juice, orange juice, and other stuff like that. So after that, we got on the bus. Got on the bus, got to MEPS. One thing about MEPS is hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. So that's what we did all day. We lined up outside of MEPS, wait to get the security check. We had to remove our belts, remove our shoes, take any electronics out of our bag, put them separately. If you had like pocket knives and stuff, you had to throw them away before you came inside the building, unless you gonna get sent home and stuff like that. But after that, that was it. We now went upstairs. The liaison that was there, one of the liaisons was like, if you're shipping out, stand to the right. If you're doing pre-medical or full physical, stand to the left. So they made like two separate lines for people that's doing like shipping out, and the people that's doing like the medical and stuff like that. They made separate lines for them. So once I got there, we went to the briefing room. I'm not gonna tell you all about the briefing room. It's just the same thing. Like they tell you sexual harassment, if you lie on your report, if you do this, if you do that. It's nothing big. It's like you spend like 3 hours or more inside the briefing room. It depends on the person that's briefing you. So after the briefing room, the paper that you get from your liaison, your Navy liaison, the pack. Sorry, excuse me. The pack that you get, you take that around with you all day. You fill some stuff out. I think my procedure was fast because after the briefing, well, before the briefing, I took my my blood pressure test. I took that, and I did the before the briefing. I took that, the blood pressure test, the hearing, and yeah, that was it. I took the hearing and the blood pressure before the briefing. So after the briefing, I took the eye test. I took the I went to piss because I had told them that I had to really go to the bathroom, because that's one thing. If you tell them that you have to go to the bathroom, they let you go. Like, you don't have to like wait for everybody to piss before you could. If you really have to go, they'll let you go after the briefing and stuff. So I took that. I drew my blood. I took a piss. For males, when you take a piss, like when you go into the bathroom and you take a piss, you have to stand like this. This is the toilet. So it's like, I think it's like three. So you have to stand facing the liaison that's instructing you in the piss test. So he has to see the fluids come out from your body. So that's about the piss test. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 for this because I'm running out of film. Um, that's the piss test, and after that you go to see a doctor. But when you go to see a doctor, I was in Houston MEPS. I mean, I'm from New York, but I came to Houston to join. So I went to Houston MEPS. So when you take the piss test, after this piss test, you go to see the doctor. When you go to the doctor, it's like a room. When you get to that room, you're gonna see like maybe 4 or 5 doors, and each door has its own doctor. But the room is where you're gonna see 2 people. One of them is going to check your height and weight. If your height and weight don't correspond, don't go together. They're gonna check your body mass and your body fat, or something like that. They're gonna do something to make sure you fit to join. So after that, the second instructor gonna tell you to go and tell like maybe 8 people to stand up. Once 8 people stand up, they're gonna have you do like a series of physical tests, like the duck walk. The duck walk is not that bad. It's not like it's just simple. 1 foot forward, heel to toe. The other foot forward, heel to toe. It's not something like, it's not something hard, but you're gonna have to do that. Spin your arms around like this, straight, something. Spin it counterclockwise, then clockwise. They're gonna have you do all that. You gotta touch your toes. You gotta get on your knees as fast as you can, but they have to hear your knees hit the ground. Um, just normal tests to make sure all your joints and body's okay. You're gonna have to bend all the way down to your toes, so the doctor can check your spinal cord and make sure your spinal cord is good, that you don't have anything wrong with your spinal cord and stuff like that. But after that, still hurry up and wait. You're gonna wait to see the doctor. But once you see the doctor's gonna ask you the same questions that they ask you on the paper. If you've been in any surgery, he gonna ask you about if you have any criminal record. He gonna ask you about that too. He gonna ask you about any criminal background, but you tell him, he gonna tell you to explain. Once you explain and everything like that, then he gonna ask you any surgeries, any other thing. But one thing about MEPS, if it's a man, use sir. If it's a female, use ma'am. Courtesy demands in MEPS. That's one thing I found out. Always use ma'am or sir when you're referring to anybody in MEPS. If you know the military ranking, sorry about that. If you know the military ranking, you can use whatever, whether it's a sergeant or petty officer, you could use that to refer to them. But once you get, after he asks you all those questions about your health and stuff like that, then he gonna ask you to drop your pants. For males, you could have somebody with you if it's a female doctor that's checking you. You could also request for a chaperone if it's a male doctor that's checking you. It depends on your preference and stuff like that. But when he tell you to drop your drawers, he gonna ask you to cough to the left and cough to the right. So he gonna hold your balls, call to the left, turn around, call to the right, face forward, cough again. He gonna tell you, okay, fine. Turn around, spread. When he actually spread, close it. Then he gonna tell you to bend down and spread. And it's not like he putting fingers in your butt and nothing like that. It's nothing like that. He just as he's telling you to spread, as soon as you spread, he's like, fine, close it, put back on your clothes. It's just fast. It's nothing. It's no big deal about it. I don't know why people make a big deal about it, but it's not really a big deal. So when he tell you that, then you gonna go. You're gonna have to wait again. So those two instructors that's inside the physical the medical and physical area, they gonna tell you, you're gonna give them your the packet that you filled out all your forms and all that other stuff. You're gonna give it to them. So once you give it to them, they're gonna go over it, they're gonna give it back to you. Then you're gonna have to go to the front desk. The front desk is where they're gonna go over your papers and all that stuff and congratulate you that, oh, you're qualified to join the military. So once you qualify, it depends on the MEPS that you go to. It's like some MEPS is slow, some MEPS is not. But it depends. It really depends on the MEPS you go to. Once I got qualified, they told me I should go back to my liaison. Once I went back to the office, I dropped my forms, and they went over it. The I had a I had a misdemeanor that I got charged for, but I got charged wrongfully. So the thing is that I got charged, but later on, it wasn't on my record. So I don't know. I don't know nothing about that, but it's whatever. So she went back. She was hesitating whether I need a waiver or not, cause anytime they checked it, nothing came up on my record. I didn't have a record. My record was clean. So she finally decided that I didn't need a waiver. So she gave it to her other when you go there, it's gonna be a lot of people that your paper is gonna be your file is gonna be passed around too. So she gave it to the other guy. He went over my stuff. He asked me for my information, my address. He made sure everything was correct in the system. Blah blah blah. So I went to meet a petty officer to talk about my job. So once I was choosing my job, I joined. I depped in the United States Navy at February 14th, 2017. That's when I dipped in. Um, when he asked me, he was like, "When do I want to leave?" And I told him, "As soon as possible." And I had like 10 jobs that was leaving. Like I think 3 was leaving in February, and the other 9 or so, or 8, I'm not really sure. 7 was leaving in March. So I was like, okay, I'll leave in March, cause I still wanted to spend time with my family and stuff like that. So once he chose March, he was like, okay. He went over the jobs to me, and I wound up picking the APAC. So he told me that job is leaving March 23rd. So I'm doing this video on March 21st, and I should be going to the hotel tomorrow, which is March 22nd. So I know I'm late with this video, but I just had a lot of things on my mind and stuff like that. But once I chose the job, filled out the form, make sure everything was correct, I had to go back to the front desk. Once I went back to the front desk, they gave me a paper to fill out. I mean, they not paper. I didn't fill out anything. They stamped some stuff on my paper, like a green paper or something. And they told me to take it to a part of MEPS. I think where you check your FBI fingerprints and stuff like that. And when you get to that part, they still gonna talk to you about Article 59 and going AWOL in the military, um, giving them false information, the charges that all that they just trying to scare you. I'm not saying give out false information to the military to the federal government, but they just trying to scare you. They just trying to see how you could cope under pressure. But once they go over all that with you, they're gonna ask you. They're gonna scan your fingerprints. They're gonna scan every single one of your fingerprints at least twice. So that's about 20 times. But after that, then you go back to the then you go back to what you call it. Um, then you go back to the front desk. Then you have to go back to your liaison at your branch. So once you get to your the liaison, you're gonna drop your file, and they're gonna give you a bag. This type of bag. This is the bag that they're gonna give you. The Navy bag and stuff like that. Congratulations and shit and all that other blah blah blah. In the bag, you're gonna get a water bottle. I don't have the water bottle right now, but you're gonna get a water bottle and you're gonna get an envelope. In the envelope, it's gonna be like they're gonna give you paperwork, like all the paperwork. Some of them you have to give to your recruiter, and some of them you get to keep. But you just give all of them to your recruiter, and your recruiter gonna give you the one that you have to keep. So in the envelope, they're gonna give you a starter book. It's just basically all the informations, the alphabets, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, all these the alphabets, the military time, the ranks, and you have to recognize them. The Navy core values and the Sailor's Creed. But while you're in depth, I just advise like you read the book, because you're gonna have a test once you get to RTC, once you get to basic training, about mostly everything in this book. But it's just basically my recruiter had marked the stuff that I had to study on and stuff like that. Like if you see here, he marked it with a star and stuff about what I had to study on. You have to know the chain of command, the Sailor's Creed, the core values is it's just three simple: honor, courage, and commitment. It's not like you have to know like read the whole passage. You just have to know like the core values and stuff like that. You have to know the chain of command. You have to know the ranks and recognize them. You have to know the military time. You have to know the alphabets and stuff like that. So this is what they give you with the shirt. They gave you this shirt, the blue Navy shirt with the hat, the water bottle, this, a pen, and that's about it. You're now in the Navy. Well, in process of being in the Navy until you graduate boot camp, but you're technically in the Navy. So, but that's just the day in MEPS. That's about it. So once you're done, you call your recruiter. Your recruiter's gonna come and get you, take you back home, or take you back to the office. Either way, but that's about it. Just know that you get up really early. At least get up like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Cause I think the bus to MEPS leaves around like 4:30 or 4:15. I'm not really sure, but get up early, cause some people won't get a wake up call like me. I didn't get a wake up call. I had set the alarm that was next to the nightstand on a clock to wake me up. And as soon as the alarm went off, I woke up. And I was like, I asked my roommate. My roommate was already up. He was just on the bed. I was like, you didn't get a wake up call? He was like, nah. And I was like, okay, I'm hopping in the shower, and that was about it. So that's just the day in MEPS. It's not really that hard. So I should be going to MEPS for the second time tomorrow, the 22nd, and I should be shipping out to